All right, let's get this show started.
Holly Holm is looking for a new fighting home. On Monday, Holm's longtime manager Lenny Fresquez announced that the former UFC bantamweight champion had requested she be granted release from the UFC roster. Despite still having fights on her contract, the UFC has allowed her release, granting Holly the freedom to sign with other organizations. According to Ariel Helwani, Holm plans on continuing to fight, remaining open to all possibilities, from MMA to boxing. At 43 years old, Holly last competed at UFC 300, where she was submitted by Kayla Harrison in the second round. This loss dropped her record to an even 3-3, with one no contest in her last 7 fights. The most disappointing part of the defeat to Harrison is that it dashed Holly's hopes of claiming the title a second time. Holm, who's become one of the biggest names in women's MMA, is often remembered for delivering a shocking head kick knockout to Ronda Rousey in 2015, seizing the UFC bantamweight title for the first time in just her 3rd fight with the UFC. While her title reign ended one fight later when she was defeated by Miesha Tate at UFC 196, Holly's legacy within the UFC will be remembered as she embarks onto her next chapter. Justin Gaethje is ready to get back to work. The former BMF champion took to his YouTube channel revealing that he started preparing for a return to action on March 8th at UFC 313. While Gaethje admitted nothing has been finalized yet, he did reveal that Dan Hooker will most likely be his next opponent.
Yeah, I mean, so there's no official fight signed, but I told the UFC maybe 2-3 months ago that March was, the date I was looking for. I know there's a fight March 8th in Las Vegas, so that's the one I told them I wanted to be on. I think they're figuring out fights right now, but I'm, certainly mentally preparing, physically preparing to fight on that date. So that puts us 8.5 weeks out, which means it's really going to be here, I think it's going to be Dan Hooker, but, with the UFC, things can always change. But that's what I'm preparing for, again, mentally, physically, for that fight, March 8th. So I'm back to work, feeling good, ready to go.
Henry Cejudo believes he can stop Song Yadong. The pair are set to headline the UFC's long-awaited return to Seattle, February 22nd. Speaking in a recent episode of the Pound for Pound podcast, Henry sent the following message to his foe.
I think I'm gonna save that for the fight, but I personally like this fight. I have a good game plan set in place for a guy that is about 10 years younger than me. Song is a tough opponent, and I like it, but I can see myself stopping this dude tomorrow. I really can.
I think it's a fantastic fight.
If you want to know the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, he's gonna need a lot more than. He's gonna need a lot more than a fortune cookie, let me tell you.
Tyson Fury announced his retirement from boxing in a brief 17-second post on Instagram. This could be another marketing ploy from Fury to shift focus away from other heavyweights, but after 2 tough bouts against Alexander Usyk last year, both of which he lost narrowly, it's possible that he may have actually decided to walk away from the sport while still in good health and with plenty of coin.
Hi everybody, I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'd like to announce my retirement from boxing. It's been a blast. I've loved every single minute of it, and I'm going to end with this. Dick Turpin wore a mask. God bless everybody. See you on the other side. Get up!
Former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov has given his full support to close friend and teammate Islam Makhachev, having helped Islam claim and hold the same title that Khabib relinquished 2 years earlier. Now, in an exclusive interview with Brett Okamoto for ESPN MMA, Khabib discussed his extreme training methods and explained the sacrifices that it takes to become the best fighter in the world.
I can describe this in one word: all about sacrifice. All about people talk about discipline, but sometimes discipline is not enough. All about sacrifice. Like a couple days ago, it was I think maybe 1 week ago. One guy, he is from Mexico, he trained with us. We allowed him come. We don't allow anybody come to in our team because we have enough sparring partners. You can look anybody, champion. We don't need nobody. And he come to me, he's like, oh, in holidays, I want to go to Mexico. And I told him, brother, you're Mexico, your family, everybody have to wait. If you want to become best in the world, you have to be inside the room. Same thing. If you want to become the best, there is no family. If you want to spend time with your family, kids, okay, be with them. You're going to become best family man. I am not against family people. I just say, if you want to become best in this business, you have to sacrifice. sacrifice your time, sacrifice your health, sacrifice everything what you have. And when I see how Islam, Umar, Usman, myself, and all other guys from our gym, I call it sacrifice. We sacrifice all our life to be the best in the world.
Frontie Airlines has addressed the viral video showing Khabib Nurmagomedov being removed from a flight while traveling from Las Vegas to San Francisco. On Tuesday, Frontie Airlines issued a statement to MMA Fighting addressing the altercation, denying that Nurmagomedov was singled out due to his ethnicity. The statement reads, on January 11, 2025, as Flight 4401 from Las Vegas to San Francisco was preparing for departure, a flight attendant initiated the customary briefing for exit row passengers. Customer Khabib Nurmagomedov, who was seated in an exit row, was asked multiple times if he was willing and able to assist in the event of an emergency. According to the flight attendant, Mr. Nurmagomedov did not respond, despite repeated attempts, which placed him in non-compliance with FAA requirements. The flight attendant informed Mr. Nurmagomedov that he could be moved to a different upgraded seat or exit the plane. Videos circulating on social media platforms do not capture this interaction and instead show a subsequent interaction after a gate agent entered the plane and reiterated the option to be reseated. As a result of the customer's initial unresponsiveness and repeated declinations of a seat change, he was asked to deplane per airline and FAA policy. The decision to deplane the customer was in no way related to his ethnicity, and we have refunded him and his traveling companions for their flights. Despite Frontie Airlines denying that Nurmagomedov's ethnicity played a role in his removal from the flight, the Council on American Islamic Relations has demanded an investigation into the situation. We call on Frontier and the U.S. Department of Transportation to swiftly and transparently investigate this incident to determine exactly what happened on this flight and why athlete and Muslim advocate Khabib Nurmagomedov was treated this way and whether religious or racial profiling played a role in his treatment. Given how often incidents of racial and religious profiling occur on airlines, especially against travelers who are noticeably Muslim, Frontier Airlines should also publicly release the results of its investigation and take appropriate action to address any misconduct or mistakes by its staff. Meanwhile, Khabib's bitter rival, Conor McGregor, gave Frontier Airlines a follow on Instagram as a sort of salute for their disservice. Major changes are coming to the PFL in 2025. According to Ariel Helwani, Bellator MMA is coming to an end after the PFL acquired them in the end part of 2023. At the time, PFL officials announced plans for Bellator to continue operating as its own entity, running its own separate shows and having different champions represent the promotion.
Bellator is dead. Bellator as we know it is no more. Bellator is dead. You will not see Bellator events anymore. And in fact, if you have looked at Don Davis's social media over the last couple of weeks, he refers to things as all PFL.
However, since then, several prominent Bellator fighters have expressed frustration with the PFL over inactivity. Reigning featherweight champion Patricio Pitbull and bantamweight champion Patchy Mix even went as far as requesting a release from the promotion after sitting several months without fights. In addition to Bellator officially coming to an end, the PFL is also expected to change its format heading into 2025. Helwani shared some more details on what it will look like.
My hunch says, given what they get paid, and given how everything is structured, the Bellator champions would then become the PFL champions. And so how they are going to structure it is they're going to have these PFL Champion Series events, which are essentially just cards headlined by champions and filled with other talent throughout. And those will be scattered throughout the year. The PFL season format is no more. What it is now is somewhere in the range of 6 to 8 weight classes being featured, 8 fighters, 2 alternates, single elimination tournament. And it'll just be like this guy versus this guy and you move on to the next. The winner of that tournament, single elimination tournament, gets $500,000.
Here's how the MMA community reacted to Bellator's days coming to an end. Eddie Alvarez tweeted, "Hey Bellator, I was thinking now would be a great time to negotiate the rights to my fights I had during my time there. I'd like to offer $7 in total, and I'd be willing to go as high as $10 if you included a signed poster of Bjorn Rebney." Sergio Pettis posted this photo saying it was fun, thank you the real Scott Coker, thank you Bellator. Corey Anderson tweeted, "Imagine being the champion of an organization, chilling on the couch and your wife walks in and tells you, did you see this? Bellator is dead now, and all you can do is shrug your shoulders in confusion, cause you still haven't heard a thing. LOL, yeah, that was me." Claudia Gadella responded, "Talk about building sustainable businesses in combat sports. Only one person has truly accomplished this, and that person is Dana White. To me, being outside the UFC and combat sports is like day trading, gambling, while being within the organization is like long-term investing, where every millionaire has their money. Knockout trolled posting this picture commented, Dana White right now. Conor's not woke wrote, basically PFL is failing too, and we are beating Forrest tomorrow, at Ariel Helwani. It's alright, their methodology of signing fighters past their prime has been picked up by the GFL. PFL gotta overcomplicate everything, don't they? It's time for today's top memes. Third place was posted by RayRex91. Second place was posted by Morph Memes. The top pick was posted by Dole Caesar.
If you want your son high-level wrestling, send him 2-3 years Dagestan and forget.
Thanks for watching. If you like the content, smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe to stay in the talk.